Welcome to the PandaCast, where we are going to dive deep into the psychology of young adults and learn more of how they perceive the world around us. Today's guest is Tom. How you doing? Oh, can't hear you.
Good. How are you?
There we go.
Are you
I'm doing all right.
What have you been up to recently?
I've been playing this game called Cyberpunk 2077.
Ah, I heard a lot. I considered buying it, but then I just thought,
Yeah,
I wait more. Is it good?
the graphics are very good, I'd say.
Let's hope that it's been hyping up for about like 12 years or something.
Yeah, exactly. I've been I didn't have as much expectations as everybody else, but I knew that
Yeah,
it
well,
was gonna be a good game.
I only started hearing about it like last year-ish. That's when it was getting delayed all the time. Then it just ended up here.
Yeah, same here. The story is pretty good, the narrative as well, but
Got Keanu Reeves in it.
it does.
Got Keanu Reeves.
I don't know why is everybody so hyped about him.
Because he's awesome, dude.
Is it because
He's
he
just a really
doesn't
good guy.
age or something like that?
He ages. But like, I think he was in John Wick, and people really like the movies because they're amazing. They're fantastic movies. And then
Actually,
he just started being like a fun guy who just doing things in public.
I see. I've never watched John Wick, so not count.
Okay, you should. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, I got John Wick 3 installed, so might watch that sometime during the winter
Yeah, well,
break.
I highly recommend it.
Alright, good to know. So
Uh,
how's school
yeah.
treating you?
Well, I mean, we on break. It ended a few days back, and it's been really good. I'm happy.
Yeah, okay.
But to be fair, I think that school basically ended 2 weeks ago because we had jack shit to do.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Did you feel like
Yeah.
stressed for tests?
No,
Same
but I
here.
think I'm in the vast minority in that case.
I was weirdly relaxed when taking the
It's
test.
relaxed.
It felt odd because everybody else was like studying very hard and you know, being stressed. But I didn't feel that much stress, you know.
No. And like they seem like they were easier than everyone hyped them up to be. Like the math test. That
Oh,
was really short and simple. It
exactly,
wasn't
yeah.
hard. And everyone for like the entire year, all the teachers, all the students were all talking about how these are the hardest tests ever. If you don't get a five, you will explode.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't really that hard. It was only like one or two questions every test that were that bad.
exactly, yeah. I think I
Also, for like the hardest test, like psychology, that was the one that was the most complex.
yeah,
We got the two easiest questions.
yeah, I'd say so, yeah. I think
How did you
six would
feel
be
about them?
easier though, but it was alright.
No.
I'm just glad
I
we
mean,
didn't
how did you
get
feel
like
about them?
the psychology test.
Yeah, just in general. Like, 'cause I know that you're a very calm guy generally. I didn't
Yeah.
really hear a lot from you.
I uh I think that the math test I finished it in like 30 minutes.
Nice.
So it was not really that difficult because like the bar was 1 hour.
Yeah.
But psychology I didn't study for it.
Neither did I.
So
The day of, I woke up at like 9, and I was like, okay, I should probably do some studying. And then
yeah.
what I did, I did a quick once over of the textbook thing
Yeah.
she sent us,
Yeah.
and then just like, okay, I'm good. Then I
Yeah.
wrote down a little document of all the studies and just what they were.
I just skimmed through them really. Just looked at them. The exam questions and the little PowerPoint slides that she does every time.
Yeah. I was talking to some unnamed human in the class,
Uh-huh.
and we were talking about how he thought that next year psychology, like the proper IB, you have to learn 60 different studies.
What?
60. That's obscene.
Yeah.
How can any human memorize that amount of studies?
Is that like IB2 or something like that?
I think yeah. I think it's like the grand finale psychology. It's
That
like
is
it just
insane.
seems to be incredibly tedious.
Yeah.
Like people say history is all about memorizing dates and that kind of stuff, but like it really isn't.
No, not really.
Unless you got a bad teacher.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you go by by the textbook, that is.
Well, how do you find history test? Because I think the history test it was the longest I think, but it
Yeah.
really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I had to take like 5 minutes extra or something like that to finish it. But
I know I finished right on the dot.
yeah, it was very close. I because like you had to write a lot of things. Um,
Yeah, like my hand hurt a lot, and because I hold the pen weirdly, so like the very tip right below my nail of my ring finger on my left hand,
yeah,
it is really it's put a lot of pressure on when I'm holding a pen, and when I write really fast and a lot, it really starts to like get hurt. So like
yeah,
that was just not fun in any capacity.
yeah. I can see that.
But
Yeah.
who's over? Yeah,
Mm,
but yeah, now the tests are over. And it's Christmas time.
exactly. Isn't it like
Yeah,
16th when we get the test back or something like that?
that's what I think, but that's 5 days from now. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Break time at least. I think I'll be in America at that point.
Oh, I see. Are you
Yeah, I'm leaving
excited to do?
tomorrow. It's pretty awesome. I am very much so. I'm going to see my family, my grandparents and cousins. I haven't seen them in like 2 years.
Seattle then?
Yeah, I'm going to see them.
Yeah. Okay. Nice, nice, nice.
Pretty great. Yeah. Are you doing anything over the holidays?
No, I'm just chilling here, working.
Oh, that's a perfectly fine plan.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing like
Yeah, right.
a game with some people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm playing more Battlefront and put that up.
Battlefront?
Dude, those videos are actually awesome. Your old Battlefront videos on your channel?
Oh yeah. I privated them,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
yeah, mainly because I want to take things a little bit professional. But
I mean, yeah, like the other episodes, I've listened to all of them as of when we're recording this, which is an unnamed date. But like you're all very professional. I think they're quite good.
yeah, the podcast or the
Yeah,
Battlefront
I think the podcast,
podcast. Yeah.
Battlefront ones, they're just amazing. Yeah, but no, the podcast is actually quite good. I'm enthralled, one might say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like just talking to people about space and what they do in life and what they're
Yeah,
gonna
well,
do.
it's a very open-ended topic. I think that's what's important here.
Yeah.
Is that the question you ask are very incredibly open-ended, and that's the thing. It's like when you get people talking about something, it's always just incredibly interesting because people have so many different experiences in life, and that makes them who they are, and it's really fun to talk about.
Yeah. You get to see behind their faces, their inner self,
Yeah,
which I like.
and that's the most interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's continue. I think let's get to some other questions because the ones you asked are actually quite deep and intriguing.
Okay. Let's.
I've been looking
Uh,
forward to this for like a week and a half.
what is the meaning of life to you?
I think, as we all know, the meaning of life is 42. But like
Exactly. Yeah.
generally, yeah, of course, it's a common knowledge.
Yeah.
But I think, generally speaking, the meaning of life is what we do with it. That's my thought is like you can choose what you do in life. We were given free will, and like you can choose what you want to do, and that's the very powerful thing. It's like
Yeah.
every person has an entirely different experience in every scenario. Like when we go to school, everyone sees something different. Everyone experiences something different, despite us all being in the same category. And that's,
Yeah.
in essence, the meaning of life is like free will, because without it, there's no life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Um,
I think that's key.
yeah. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Very
I
happy.
think
Okay.
that like a lot of people are rather melancholy at the moment, but like I'm having a good time because like generally speaking, my view on the world and life is that it'll all pass. Things, no matter how dark they seem right now, they'll always get better.
Yeah.
It's a very optimistic view, and that puts a lot of people the wrong way. But like, I know that eventually there's going to be a vaccine, and then we'll get back to the quote unquote new normal. But like,
Yeah.
things are, it's never going to be the end of the world unless like the sun explodes or a meteorite crashes to Earth. There
Well,
will always be something after.
that will come in a few billion years when we're dead or we've transcended into the
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 nuclear
computers.
fallout.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Doctor Strangelove style, the doomsday device.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, but like, it's never the end. I think that everyone always talks about how this is the end of the world, and like everything's never gonna be the same after. Which is there's a modicum of truth to that, but I think that in
Yeah.
general, once you realize that it will always end, nothing is permanent. That like the bad times will end, the good times will end. It's just a matter of how you see it.
Yeah.
That's the important thing right now. Is that you can believe that there will be an end. Things will get better.
Yeah. That's true. I view like things like a customer came pretty angry at me uh once like a few days ago, but after that I was like, who cares really? I there's nothing will happen really. I haven't gotten fired. I already talked to my boss and didn't get fired, and we just resolved it quite peacefully.
That's good. I mean, like my sister used to work for Home Depot. It's an American company.
Yeah.
It's basically like I don't know, like Bico, but like American.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay.
like she used to work as customer service for like people returning things and complaining about crap. Which is kind of the ultimate annoyance job.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like every day she would come home and then talk about well, not to me, but just in general, and think about all the stuff that happened. And she'd get her fair share of insane people who yelling about random bullshit. But every now and then she'd get people who were just genuinely nice and had a good time with. I
Yeah.
know that there was one story she told me like where this dad came up to her. He had this like 2-year-old kid with him. It was like his son,
Mm.
and he was just talking about like how things were, and that she didn't have apparently a long conversation, which I don't know the contents of, but like that's something that just doesn't happen in real life. That's
Yeah.
just it's one of the few things that just happens, and it's just wonderful. Little things like that.
Exactly. You gotta look at the positives instead of keeping your eye on the negatives.
Exactly. Being optimistic is the way that you will be happy. You'll never be happy if you keep focused on what's wrong with the world.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, that's the big takeaway for why I think I'm happy.
Do you doubt yourself often?
In what capacity? Like academically or personally?
Yeah, both.
I mean, I think that I'm not an idiot. I think I'm a pretty decently smart fellow. I don't really doubt myself really
Yeah.
because, unless I majorly screw up at something, I don't think everything will be that bad. I don't really doubt myself because I know that if I screw up, it was because it was my own fault. I was negligent or I was procrastinating. That's on me. And there's no one else's at fault. So, like, I either do it or I don't. There's two options.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, doubting yourself is a rather pointless thing because it just sows the seeds of I'm not good enough. I'll never be good enough, and that's no good.
Yeah. It's one of the like steps you have to take over to be happy.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Says like knowing that you're allowed to screw up in life.
Exactly.
Like I didn't study for the psychology exam. I probably should have. I definitely should have, but I didn't. That's it. It's in the past. It happened. Can't change it now. No use to say I wasn't good enough. I could have done better. I could have, but like, there's no way to change it now. It's done.
It's gone, so only fate will
There you
decide.
go. Good man. Yeah.
So,
Fate being our teacher.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a. Yeah. I don't really doubt myself at all.
Okay. If you ever had depression, what was the like experience?
I mean, I wouldn't say I was never clinically diagnosed because I don't really like shrinks. But like a few years back, I think this is when I like kind of first met you. That whole first semester,
Mm.
my parents had just gotten divorced, and that was a hard time because I'm very close to my family and I'm very connected with them.
Yeah.
And like it's one of the virtues that I have in myself is like my love for my family, and seeing that be destroyed and like annihilated was a very hard thing. For like, a long time I was not in a good spot, but then I had a realization that things would get better, and I just persevered.
Yeah.
I think that now things are better, but I think I wouldn't call it depression. I just call it long term sadness. So I'd say that it wasn't
I
that
see. Okay.
bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just
No,
a
it
long-term
wasn't depression. I don't
sadness.
think.
Okay. Um.
Yeah, like I was just not feeling it for months and months. I know a lot of people helped me through. A lot of people were there for me when I needed them, and
Yeah.
like that's something that I deeply appreciate because if there wasn't people with me or people around me, I don't think I would have made it. I was very pessimistic for a long time.
Yeah. It's always good to have some people supporting you through things.
Exactly.
So, do you think that all of the suffering for life is actually important?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, when we suffer, do you think that? Well, you're a pretty optimistic person, so I think that you would say yes, since like we suffer and everything will be getting better. But do you think like that every time that we
I
suffer?
mean, I couldn't fully hear you because
What?
suffering, human suffering is inevitable. We are not perfect creatures. We are what?
Yeah, we're not perfect creatures.
Practice?
Yes.
Uh, yeah. You just lagged out for a minute. Yeah, I think human suffering is inevitable. People always say that like it's not possible to escape suffering, which is true. They're not wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of again your outlook. It's like human suffering is inevitable. There's no perfect life or perfect world we live in. Humans are flawed creatures, but like it's just a matter of if you use that suffering to fuel anger or fuel like I don't know, what's the opposite, like charity or happiness. It's like you can make your suffering to become a better person and help those around you, or you can do it to hurt those around you. Like it's all about what you do with what you're given.
Yeah.
And that's my thought. That's my 2 cents. It's all about like if you something bad happens to you, you could just descend into darkness and become something awful that you're not, or you could whiten your knuckles and persevere.
True.
And
Okay.
that's the key thing.
So out of 10, what is your mental
That's what
state?
needs to be remembered. Is like once again, everything will be better, no matter how bad things get or how bad.
Exactly. Yeah. But
I think my mental state is one of I don't know. It's just like I'm in a good place right now. It's one of the best times in my life. I think I'm in a
oh,
good place with a good school with good friends, and like I'm just having a ball. I might say
okay.
I'm not feeling too bad about life. I'm with my family. I'm happy. I have no reason to be dissatisfied with life in any capacity right now.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, Do you view the state of the Earth and the human species in a positive light or in a negative light?
I think I view it in a positive light because while humans are there are a lot of bad humans who are doing bad things to other people. I think that in the end, when all the chips are down, I think that people will always do the right thing in general. They
Mhm.
may do some people may do the wrong thing, but I think that the greater populace and the greater people of the world do the better thing. Be it saving the earth in one way or another, I think that eventually people will be forced on some level to work together and get through.
Yeah, I think that the media does not help with this because they always portray the bad people, and it feels like there are a lot more bad
No,
people
it
than
doesn't.
there are in the world. Yeah,
Well, the media is made up of people, and people have opinions. People have ideas,
yeah,
and you can't have a truly unbiased media with people. That's the issue. That's what we've been dealing with for millennia.
exactly.
But like in general, I think that I would prefer a biased media in one direction or another rather than no media because people have to know what's going on. People have to be
Yeah,
informed, and if they're not, then if the populace is uneducated, that's worse. That's very bad.
yeah, that, yeah, true.
Education is incredibly important to having a successful life.
Exactly, yeah, that is true. Uh, what is your ultimate slash end goal?
Yeah. My what? Excuse me?
Ultimate slash end goal.
I think my goal in life is to just use my knowledge and my abilities to improve the lives of others. And to be it, for a while, including now, I thought like being like a teacher would be nice because I could impart wisdom and morality into other people. I think
Mm.
that that's incredibly important because if you're not, if you don't act in a moral fashion, whatever your morals may be, but if you do not act with any morals, if you're nihilistic, I think that that's not a good thing. It's just that everyone has to have some sort of code of virtues and ethics, whatever that may be. It's different from person to person, but that having that is imperative to human success. Because if you just riding the waves per se, I think that's not really a way. You need to always attempt to do something to make a difference in life. Because if you don't make a difference in some capacity, then your life has been, I don't want to say wasted, but like it not lived up to its full potential. Everyone has, I don't want to say destiny, but like an ability to help others and something that they can do in every situation. Like you, me, everyone we know,
Mm.
they have the capacity for greatness and good. Just a matter of accessing that, and it's to impart that understanding and ideas into younger people. So I don't like to say because we're teenagers, but regardless, to impart that into other people, I think is one of the greatest goods that you can do in life.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that.
Right? Yeah, that's yeah. I think that's an important thing.
Uh, what is the perfect world for you, and do you often try to escape from harsh reality?
I think that the perfect world, it's not. There's no real perfect world. The world is flawed. The world is not perfect.
Of
It
course,
will
yeah.
never be perfect. It's a matter of taking the world that we are in and making the best out of it. Taking what we have and what we've been given by our ancestors and the people who we will descend to, and doing our best with it. It's not about creating a utopia or a perfect society. It's about doing the best we can and only the best because you can't do better than that. And I think that That like it's like escaping from harsh reality. It's like I mean I play a lot of games because I don't want to say I don't like the world. I like the world, but like I do because it makes me happy. And
I
like
see.
a lot of people say it's because they want to escape reality, but like reality is not really that bad.
Yeah.
Reality is pretty good. I think we aren't the where we are in history is the best it's been. It will be better because that's just the progress of society. But
Yeah.
I think we are at the best we've been at. History has gone up and down in levels of things. Like some might say that ancient civilizations were better than where we are now, or they're worse than where we are now. But I think that right now, 2020, this second, this minute, is the best that history in the world has ever been. There's the most opportunity. There's the most freedom for
Yeah.
everyone.
I agree.
I just think that it's a matter of being grateful for all we have. It's humility.
I see. Yeah. I think that it is. Uh, we're doing a lot better
Yeah.
than our former selves, especially since like diseases are barely a thing now, except for COVID, of course. But otherwise, like deadly diseases
You say that.
that were before, it's better now than, or the treatment, at least, is better.
Like people used to, yeah, people used to cut off your toe if you had an itch. It's like we've learned past that. We've gotten better. Society has improved in all manners of respect. Every part of society is better than it was 1,000 years ago. I think,
Yeah.
and that's something that it's not one man or one woman can change. That's something that a human populace has to improve. I think we have improved since then. We've become better. We're not superior, but we've become better. I think there's a slight difference there.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that we're the only species in space?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Thinking that humanity is the only species is ridiculous. Like even statistically speaking, the possibility of us being the only species is asinine.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of if we find them. We may never. It might be on the other side of the cosmos, but it might be right next to us. There's no way to know.
Yeah, it's true. They have to have the exact form of communications as we do, but we don't know if they have like different ways of communicating to outer space.
Like there's always something else out there, which is one of the reasons like space is such a good medium for like horror, fear movies, because like not knowing what's out there is a powerful method of fear, but also it's very invigorating knowing that we are the ones who are exploring the world. We are the ones who are going to the great beyond. That's the thing. It's like if you know that you can go through there, it's a very invigorating thought. Like when we went to the moon, like in the 60s, that was a crazy thing because at that point we had never properly been onto other planets, quote unquote. But like that was as like one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. But like since then, maybe having a small digression up for the last few years, but nowadays things are going. We're reinvigorating space travel. I think in our lifetimes we will find things, be it another species, be it another other planets. That the journey to space is just beginning.
Yeah, it's true. I think that we will also establish a colony, most likely a scientific colony in on the moon, and having it as like an outpost for space travel in our solar system.
Yeah, I mean, we probably will, but like, I think that colonies. Yeah, I mean, we have them, but like, the moon's desolate. it's going to be heavily reliant upon the Earth for a long time for all kinds of stuff. And like, everyone always talks about like, oh, there's going to be a colony on Mars and we're going to inhabit Mars, but like, it's really far away.
Yeah. And I
I mean,
think that
it's going to be a Mars is a dangerous place. It's nowhere. No. Earth is very cushy in comparison.
yeah, but it's also in a habitable zone,
But like you know,
and we can terraform Mars.
true, it is inhabitable. But like, I think it takes a special type of person to want to go to Mars.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it takes a special type of crazy to want to go in space.
Yeah, unless we're like super far into the future and like space, galactic empire, you know.
The Terran Empire, like StarCraft.
Exactly. Then
I mean, like, eventually we're gonna meet something else, someone else. I don't think it's gonna be like Klingons, but like, it's gonna be something. They're probably gonna try and kill us, or we're gonna kill them.
yeah,
It's all about who's met by.
exactly.
And also, like, an argument can be made that humans have viewed each other as aliens for a long time. Like during the Cold War, at least in America, like we thought the Russians were like a lot more less than human because they were communists. They're evil Reds, you know.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
like genuine are hard to find. Like humanity is very good at destroying itself, which is a terrifying thought, but it's realistic. It's realism.
Yeah, we want to conquer all the time. We want power. Greedy little bastards, I'd say.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on conspiracy theories? Did you get that?
Yeah, no, I got that. Conspiracy theories are good fun. They're just it's what I find really fun is like there's a lot of people who genuinely believe this stuff, like the moon landing was fake.
Yeah.
Like, but like, it's just fun, man. Come on,
It's all in fun
it's
and
just fun.
games.
It's like the lizard people control the world. That's just a funny thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun in games.
I think
It's a good
it
laugh.
I think it can be destructive though, to some. But as long
Yeah.
as they're like innocent, no, it's fine.
As long as the crazies aren't, killing people or doing crap, because that's fine by me. You're allowed to have your opinions, but if you start going around doing crazy shit, gotta step in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I think most of them are pretty tame right now.
Yeah. Most, I think like most of them just do it for fun. While others take it a little bit too seriously. But what do your dreams look like? As in sleep dreams.
Well, generally speaking, my sleep dreams. I think. All right, put this into words. I think just my sleep narratives. Like when I dream of narratives. My mind is very good at telling stories, and I'm always aware that I'm in a dream. I'm always aware that I'm just trying to play out the storyline because I'm always intrigued by the worlds that I've created. They're always wacky, pandemonium basically.
Yeah.
And it's always just trying to explore what the rules of this world are, where I am, what I have to do. And you know, by the time when things get interesting, that's when I wake up. Which is really unfortunate. But like occasionally, every now and then, very rarely, I can.
Oh,
That's the good stuff.
I see. Okay.
So you know, getting back into a world that my mind just created for me when I'm asleep is pretty great. You know,
Yeah.
because your brain is insane. Like the human brain is so impressive.
It is. It is very, very impressive. You could start
Yeah,
thousands upon thousands
like
of
we don't
papers.
know the half of it of what's going on.
Yeah. Mainly because we haven't been studying it for a while, but
It's like the ocean. It's just things that we think we understand, but we really don't.
yeah.
I think we've learned a lot in the past, let's say, 50 years, but like in comparison to what we have learned about.
Duh. You there?
It's all
Oh,
like
there we go.
theories. Yeah, no, I'm having a little connection issue, but I think it's not that bad.
Yeah. Do you believe in any
Still
religion?
good?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And if
Yes.
so, how has
Yes.
it shaped?
In that case, I am in fact religious.
Religious boy.
Uh, I haven't. I'm well, technically speaking, I'm a Lutheran Christian, but like you know, I was raised in an atheistic household. I was not led towards religion in any capacity, but like a few years ago, I you know was reading about it. And I was thinking this sounds interesting, and then well, the part was I converted, but like no, I started believing in when I was reading because like it made sense and it explained the world in a way that spoke to me. And I think that that's big, but mostly how it's influenced me as like a pure person is like morals and values. Because like I think religious morals and like specifically like Christian morals, and morality, is one incredibly interesting, but also it's like it's very deep and thoughtful, and it's very at its base, it's very kind and generous. A lot of people aren't who tend to espouse it, but that's with all religions.
Yeah.
I think at the very core of happy and like generous religion. I think that's what I'm following. I think that a lot of people are doing things that are very unchristian nowadays because I don't know, but I guess I think that it's important to note that like just because you have you're religious does not mean you are less like I don't want to say like advanced. Like there's always the science jokes, you know, like
Yeah.
oh you're religious, you must not believe in science, but like you know, I think it's just a matter of stereotypes at this point. It's like religion is just such a vast and intriguing concept. There's no two are even closely related, no matter how how much they say they are.
Yeah.
But they all have general common threads. I think that's what's interesting to me about it. Like I would say, I might be out of pocket, but like I think most religions are religions of peace and generosity
Yeah.
rather
It's true.
than war and violence. I mean that's the good part. Yeah, I think like it's important to note that like there are wacky, crazy people from everywhere, every walk. It's important to note that they are not the base. They're not the people who are like genuine.
Yeah, and who are
It's like
following the religion
when you
correctly.
meet someone and you talk with them about things, it's all about first impressions, it's stereotypes.
No.
Yeah, I mean that could come to like there's no true religion because there's only one I believe, but like you know, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's like generally speaking, most people who have similar views and similar values, who also follow the same religion, are nice enough people. Like when I've gone to church, when I go to church, I talk to people, and they generally share my values. be it if they're, you know, not the same exact sect of Christianity that I am, not the exact same. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of moral and value overlap. I think that, you know, it's important to give people a chance when they're talking about religion is a very personal thing. It's incredibly personal. I think that, like,
True.
you really have to give people a chance to explain why they think something. And I'll let you.
Because, you know, I think it's just the wrong people that are, like, showing the religion. For example, like terrorist groups. They have, like, religion behind them, and it makes that religion bad. It also happens when countries are in a civil war. You view the country as, like, goric and very, like, shrouded in war. So, yeah, I think people just have to look at what they really are about and study it more than just taking it at
Yeah.
face value. So yeah.
Well, stereotypes are a big thing. It's like, just like you said, when a country in war, it's easy to think that, when it's just not the case. It's a matter of people fighting for either their freedom or their country or any manner of things.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, there's always more. There's always a deeper level of motivation for people. And it's important to, you know, get to the bottom of that and talk to them about it if you want to really understand the motives.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's about all of the questions I have. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that I don't want to get too preachy on this, but like, you know, religion is religion. It's impacted me in such a way where I think and like, you know, if someone's not religious, that's their prerogative. If they are, that's their prerogative. It's all personal. There's no like you can't force religion onto someone.
Yeah.
I think it's all about personal choice.
Yeah. Because if you force people on it, then it doesn't become genuine. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Anything else to add, or?
You have more questions, or?
No, I'm done with all the questions.
All right. Well, I mean, I think that no, I don't have anything else to add. Like, more than the general message of things will get better. I hope that everyone can think that, because like being pessimistic about the world is a dangerous game.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for listening to this podcast, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.